Did you know that some spiders can deal even with creepy scorpions? And what about arthropods that eat mice and birds, or venomous monsters that can kill even humans? You don't want to mess around with these creatures because they're not the kind of creatures that like to joke around. In this episode, I'll show you the most dangerous spiders of the planet in action and tell you about the most unusual spiders of the planet. Let's go! Spider versus frog. Let's start with this spider, which confronts the frog. The spider is large, but the frog is not small either because apparently it's a bullfrog, one of the largest frogs on the planet. This time it showed itself in all its glory. As soon as the spider is put into the container, the amphibian instantly reacts and bites it. The spider resists for a while, but soon finds itself completely in the frog's mouth. Maybe this giant will be able to oppose something to a huge frog? This time the battle doesn't start from the first second. The opponents look at each other as if assessing their strength. The frog attacks first, the attack is successful, and the opponent is defeated. Let's give the spiders another chance. In this footage, we see the light spider and the frog. This time the amphibian is smaller, but the spider's not very big either. The frog jumps, makes the first lunge, a battle ensues, and the spider finally wins. You bet! After all, the frog was opposed by a very dangerous arthropod, the camel spider, also known as the sun spider. This is one of the most powerful and dangerous spiders on the planet. For people, the camel spider doesn't pose a great threat. These arthropods don't have venomous glands, but when the spider bites, it can bring bacteria into the wound. Camel spiders are much more dangerous for insects and animals. These creatures are able to engage in battle even with the mantis. Though the mantis is not very large, it has well-developed predatory instincts and fighting skills. The mantis is even able to defeat some snakes. But in the case of camel spiders, a hard battle always awaits it. Quite often, such battles end in a draw, but sometimes camel spiders win. A camel spider can start a fight even with a scorpion. However, this is a more difficult task than competing with the mantis. For example, in this footage, the scorpion is opposed by two camel spiders, but despite their numerical superiority, the venomous monster still defeats both opponents. It's time to take revenge. The battle unfolds in the tank. The spider pretends to run away from the scorpion, forcing it to chase it. But suddenly it does a deceptive maneuver and attacks the scorpion sharply that's let its guard down. The camel spider has chosen a clever tactic. The spider bit into the tail of the scorpion so that the scorpion couldn't use it, and thus neutralized the main threat. The scorpion tries to fight back, but the camel spider's grip is too strong. Soon the scorpion was exhausted, and the camel spider began to eat the opponent. But as the saying goes, even Homer sometimes nods. For example, the black widow can defeat the camel spider. It's one of the most famous spiders in the world. At the same time, it's also one of the most dangerous spiders in the world. This is the first spider in the episode which poses a real threat not only to animals but also to humans. However, recently there have been practically no deaths after encounter with the black widow. But these venomous monsters can deal with the camel spider easily. Look how two black widows brutally deal with a camel spider. Periodically, they were helped by the third black widow. These arthropods can also kill a scorpion, just like the camel spider. In this footage, we see just such a confrontation. At first, the rivals were just in the same container, but soon they moved into action. The black widow got on top of the scorpion and neutralized it. It can overpower another dangerous arthropod, the huntsman spider. This is a huge giant, capable of scaring away anyone by its size alone. But the black widow's no coward. In this fight, it used its powerful venom to make the huntsman spider convulse. Speaking of the huntsman spider, it's not just a huge creature, it's one of the largest spiders on the planet. Together, with its limbs, it can be about 8 inches long. These giants are considered not dangerous for humans, but there's very little pleasant about them, especially when they get into the house and the inhabitants have to puzzle over how to get rid of the intruder. In terms of size, the Goliath bird eater is the leader. This huge monster is up to 12 inches long. The Goliath bird eater, or Theraphosa blondi, is even listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest spider on the planet. Of course, it's a threat. First of all, to insects, it eats them in no time at all. Look how this Goliath ate a large cockroach. The spider ate it in a fraction of a second. It also loves larger prey, small spiders and mice, for example. It has a short conversation with mice. It grabs them as quickly as it grabs cockroaches and then eats them. The Goliath bird eater prefers to eat in its burrow. It prefers to cover it with its cobwebs. It also eats various arthropods, lizards, worms, and amphibians. It justifies its name. The Goliath bird eater can really swallow a bird, but it happens rarely enough. One might say once in a blue moon. Fortunately, the Goliath bird eater is not dangerous to humans. It can bite, but nothing terrible will happen. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the next animal of the episode, the Brazilian wandering spider. This is one of the most dangerous spiders on the planet, not only for animals but also for people. This is because it's the most venomous spider on the planet. Like the Goliath bird eater, it's also listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for its features. This monster can easily deal with a mantis, with which the camel spider will mess around all day. It can attack a black widow and leave it no chance of escape. Let alone small insects, the Brazilian spider will deal with them easily. As for humans, the bite of the Brazilian wandering spider can finish them off. Powerful neurotoxin enters the body through a painful bite. It infects the lymphatic system, causes heart failure, impairs breathing, and causes loss of muscle control. Fortunately, there is an antidote for the venom of this monster, so the recorded number of deaths as a result of bites of these spiders is small. Sydney funnel-web spider. The same can be said about this spider. They're similar to the Brazilian arthropod in many ways. They're also an effective antidote for the venom of the Sydney funnel-web spider. Like the Brazilian wandering spider, this spider is considered one of the most dangerous in the world. And, like its South American relative, this monster is listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the most venomous spider on the planet. That's right, they share that title. Many even favor the Sydney monster. The funnel-web spider has the ability to kill many creatures. Look how it neutralized the spider wasp. By the way, the spider wasp has an incredibly painful bite, one of the most terrifying on the planet. As for humans, the Sydney funnel-web spider is extremely aggressive. It bites several times in a row, and the power of its bite is enough to bite even through thick tissues and fingernails. The venom affects the entire human nervous system and can potentially finish off the victim. But since 1981, no fatalities have been recorded, all thanks to an antidote to this most venomous spider on the planet. Those were the most dangerous spiders in the world, and since today's episode is about the most ones, why not take a look at the most unusual and strangest spiders on Earth? Keep watching to see the whip spider, the scorpion spider, the spiny arthropods, and the funniest spider in the world. Whip spider. This spider doesn't even look like a spider. In its desire to blend in with the surrounding nature, it's turned into something resembling a branch or a whip. In fact, that's why it's called the whip spider. This incredible creature lives in Australia. It can be distinguished from other spiders by its thin body, which reaches only 0.3 to 0.7 inches in length. Besides, whip spiders differ from their congeners in the way they get their food. They don't weave a web, but hang two parallel threads, which are about 3 feet long, hiding them between leaves. Seated at the top of their trap, they, like puppeteers, hold the threads in their paws and catch the slightest movement of their prey. Scorpion-tailed spider. If there were a hybrid between a spider and a scorpion, it would look like this. Seeing such a creature for the first time, many will mistake it for a dangerous, venomous scorpion because the outgrowth on the animal's abdomen is similar to the tail of a scorpion. Although there is a resemblance to a scorpion, the scorpion-tailed spider is not dangerous. The thorns at the tip of its tail are soft, so the spider is not able to sting with them. Apparently, the nature gave it such a tail, so the spider can mislead predators. Many predators simply confuse where the spider's abdomen is and where its head is, and strike at less important parts of the animal's body. Spiny spider. Next up is one of the most beautiful and at the same time strangest spiders in the world. As in previous cases, the name speaks for itself. On the edges of the wide abdomen of these creatures there are 6 spines, similar to thorns, which give the animal a threatening appearance. All this is complemented by the bright color of the spider. You won't confuse this one with any other. By the way, these creatures weave one of the coolest webs in the whole spider world. Check it out. Happy face spider. Spiders are considered to be formidable creatures, but there are some real merry fellows among them. For example, the Hawaiian happy face spider. And again, the name speaks for itself. Just look at this creature, and everything will become clear. The color of this spider looks like a happy face. It seems that all the time the spider is smiling to the one who looks at it. By the way, each spider is unique. The smile of each individual is unique. These creatures are quite small. They're only about 0.1 inches in length. They live in Hawaii and unfortunately are on the verge of extinction because of human intervention. That's all, guys. Which unusual spider did you like the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you later.